The television screen flickered to life, and in that split second, the world held its breath. Viewers across the globe leaned closer, their eyes wide with anticipation as the familiar upbeat jingle of the Kelly Clarkson Show filled the airwaves. But this wasn't just another lighthearted episode filled with laughter and celebrity banter. No, tonight, July 20, 2025, something extraordinary was about to unfold, a moment so raw and electrifying that it would leave an indelible mark on live television history. The camera panned to Kelly Clarkson, her signature warm smile momentarily faltering as she adjusted her earpiece, her gaze shifting toward the guest chair where Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, sat with an air of quiet confidence. The studio audience buzzed with excitement, unaware that they were about to witness a clash that would send shockwaves through royal and entertainment circles alike. As the opening credits rolled, the tension was palpable, a storm brewing beneath the polished surface of the stage, and it all hinged on the fiery exchange that was about to erupt live on air. Kelly began with her usual charm, welcoming Harry with a nod to his recent humanitarian efforts in Angola, a nod to his late mother Princess Diana's legacy. "It's an honor to have you here, Harry," she said, her voice smooth yet carrying an edge of curiosity. "You've been making waves with your work, and I know our viewers are eager to hear more about your journey." Harry, dressed in a tailored gray suit that spoke of his transition from royal to global citizen, offered a polite smile. His reddish beard framed a face that carried both the weight of his past and the determination of his present. "Thank you, Kelly," he replied, his British accent crisp. "It's been a challenging but rewarding path, and I'm just trying to honor my mother's memory in my own way." The audience applauded, and for a moment, it seemed like the interview would follow the predictable arc of praise and inspiration. But Kelly, known for her unscripted authenticity, had other plans. She leaned forward, her blue eyes narrowing slightly as she ventured into uncharted territory. "You've been open about your struggles, Harry, and we all admire your bravery. But let's talk about something a bit more personal. There's been a lot of chatter about your relationship with the royal family, your father, your brother. Some say you've burned bridges. What's the real story?" The question hung in the air like a thundercloud, and the studio fell silent. Harry's smile tightened, his fingers gripping the armrest of his chair. The audience leaned in, sensing the shift, their collective breath held as they waited for his response. This wasn't the fluffy, safe territory of celebrity talk shows. This was a dive into the deep end of royal drama, and Kelly had just thrown the first stone. Harry took a deep breath, his jaw clenching as he measured his words. "Kelly, I've said what I needed to say in my book and interviews. My family and I have our differences, but I'm focused on building a future, not dwelling on the past." His tone was diplomatic, but there was a flicker of irritation in his eyes, a hint of the fire that simmered beneath his composed exterior. Kelly, however, wasn't ready to let it go. She pressed on, her voice softening but her intent clear. "I get that, Harry, but fans are divided. Some see you as a hero for breaking free, others as a traitor for airing dirty laundry. How do you handle that?" The question was a gauntlet thrown down, and the audience murmured, some nodding in agreement, others shifting uncomfortably in their seats. Harry's composure cracked, just a fraction, as he leaned forward. "It's not about being a hero or a traitor," he said, his voice rising slightly. "It's about truth, and if people can't handle that, maybe they should look at themselves." The exchange was a spark, but Kelly fanned the flames with her next move. "Truth is a strong word, Harry. Some might say your truth has hurt people, your grandmother, your father. Is that a price you're willing to pay?" The studio gasped collectively, the air thick with tension. Harry's face flushed, his hands balling into fists as he stared at Kelly, disbelief mingling with anger. "You're crossing a line," he said, his voice low but laced with steel. "I came here to talk about my work, not to be ambushed about my family." Kelly didn't back down. "This is live TV, Harry. People want the real you, not just the polished version. If you can't handle tough questions, maybe you shouldn't be here." The words were a slap, and the audience erupted into a mix of cheers and boos, the energy in the room spiraling out of control. What followed was a verbal duel that felt more like a battlefield than a talk show set. Harry stood, his chair scraping against the floor as he pointed a finger at Kelly. "You think you can judge me? You've got no idea what I've been through." Kelly rose to meet him, her own temper flaring. "And you think you're the only one with a story. sit down, or security will help you out. The threat was real, and within moments, two burly guards appeared at the edges of the stage, their presence a stark contrast to the cheerful backdrop. Harry hesitated, his chest heaving, before turning on his heel and storming off, the camera catching the fury in his stride as he disappeared backstage. The audience was on its feet, some shouting in support, others in shock, as Kelly stood there, her breath ragged, trying to regain control. "Well, folks," she said, forcing a smile, "that's live TV for you." Backstage, the fallout was immediate. Producers scrambled, microphones picked up heated exchanges between Harry's team and the show's staff, and rumors began to swirl. Had Kelly gone too far? Was Harry justified in his outrage? The internet exploded, with clips of the confrontation going viral within minutes, hashtags like #HarryVsKelly and #RoyalRage trending worldwide. Viewers at home were glued to their screens, rewatching the moment Harry's exit, the way his shoulders tensed, the way Kelly's voice trembled with a mix of defiance and regret. It was raw, unfiltered, and utterly captivating. As the episode cut to commercial, the hook was set. Would Harry return? Would this end his media career? The world waited, and the story was far from over. For those watching, the emotional weight of the moment lingered. Harry's journey from prince to pariah had been laid bare, and Kelly's bold move had turned a routine interview into a cultural flashpoint. The pain in Harry's eyes, the defiance in Kelly's stance, it was a collision of two worlds, royal and common, past and present. And as the screen faded to black, the invitation was clear. Like this video if you're Team Harry, subscribe to the channel for the full saga, and stay tuned for the next chapter of this electrifying drama. The viewers were hooked, their emotions stirred, and the promise of more kept them coming back for the unraveling of a royal reckoning.